today's episode, I'm telling you a case of a 13-year-old boy who murdered his mom. But the question is, was it on purpose or was it mental health? You be the judge. Welcome, lambs. Welcome to your Florida Man Friday episode of Love and Murder. My name is Kai, and if you're new here, go ahead and listen to this episode first. If you like it, go ahead and subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to listen to my voice. What is wrong with you? But I do want to say thank you either way, new or returning lamb. I really appreciate all of your support. Before we begin, I want to remind you that this episode and all my episodes are sponsored by my lambs in Patreon, patreon.com/love and murder. The last bonus episode we have in there, they literally heard me going through like my mental mantra because of some of the stuff that was mentioned in the case, and I couldn't let it sink in. So they literally heard me on air. I didn't edit it out. Usually my episodes in there are kind of raw. So they heard me going through my mental mantra of not letting it stick in. I can't believe that despicable case. But anyway, if you wanted to hear that bonus, that's on Patreon, patreon.com/love and murder. So without further ado, let's get into this Florida Man Friday. And I just have one episode for you today. I know it's coming out late, but let's get right into it. On October 12th, 2023, in Hialeah, Florida, 13-year-old Derek Rosa, who at the time was an 8th grader at Irina Academy in Hialeah, attacked his mother, 39-year-old Irina Garcia, with a kitchen knife, stabbing her multiple times. One of those times severed an artery in her neck. Now, you know, there are a couple arteries in the body where, is it a couple or all the arteries? I don't know. I'm not in medicine, but I do know definitely there are a couple arteries in your body where if you even nick it, if it's cut, you can bleed out within minutes, depending, I guess, how deep the cut is, within seconds to minutes. I'm not sure. I'm not in medicine. So if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments below. Please do it respectfully. I am not perfect and I understand when I'm wrong. But anyways, there are a couple arteries in the body that you bleed out quickly. I know one of them is in the neck and one of them is in your thigh. So either way, he cut the artery in her neck. And so obviously she bled out really quickly and died. Then after the murder, Derek reportedly, I'm going to say reportedly, and this whole episode is alleged because the case is still ongoing. So it's alleged. After the murder, he reportedly called one of his online friends. Then he took a selfie with his hand that was still bloodied and sent it to that friend. And he also sent 2 pictures of his dead mother's body. Now, my question is, what is with everyone having to take a picture of everything? Like, I mean, you are making catching you easier, but just in dealing with life in general, why does everyone need to see everything you're doing? So I don't understand why people post and take so many pictures. You're committing a crime and then you take a picture and send it to people. I mean, literally the only upside in that is, yeah, you having a newspaper with the date on it. I mean, but the pictures have timestamps on it. But other than that, y'all are just making it easier, huh? Sorry for going on that rant. I couldn't get over the whole taking a picture of it. This is like, what, the 3rd, 4th? I can't remember. There have been many recent episodes where somebody's taking a picture and sending it to somebody. Then after he did all of that, he called 911 to confess. In the 911 report, it noted that Derek was very calm and polite on the call. It said that he was very composed. He addressed the dispatcher as yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. And it was just really weird. So they actually did release the phone transcript. So here it goes. When the 911 operator answered, Derek said, "Miss?" The dispatcher said, "Yes." And Derek said, quote, "I took pictures and I told my friends about it. Was that bad?" So the dispatcher asked, "Who received the pictures? What are you talking about?" And Derek just said it was his friend. Quote, "I don't know his real name because he's an online friend who I play with a lot." So obviously, police and rescue units were dispatched to the house where they found Irina dead on the bedroom floor. They did find her newborn baby, which was Derek's sister, in a nearby crib. Derek told police officers that he'd gotten 2 guns that were owned by his stepfather and that he had planned to take his own life after he killed his mother, but when it came time to do that, he just couldn't do it. At the time this was happening, it was only Irina, the newborn baby, and Derek at home because the stepfather is a truck driver and he was actually out of town in northern Georgia at the time. So police arrested Derek because, he confessed. And he was arrested and charged with 2nd-degree murder, but later on this charge was actually upgraded to 1st-degree murder, and initially he was going to be tried as a juvenile, and he was being held in a juvenile facility, but when they upgraded the charge to 1st-degree murder, they changed it to being tried as an adult, and he was transferred to the Metro West Jail, which he's there right now, and he is actually the youngest inmate in there. Derek's defense team argued for his relocation to a juvenile detention facility, saying that the adult jail is not suitable for somebody his age, because remember, he's 13. Well, as of 2024, he's 14 right now, and they have him in an adult jail. So in one of the preliminary hearings, Derek remained emotionless while his father, Jose Rosa, watched from the gallery and then at one point in time blew his son a kiss. What? Okay. Anyways, Jose has publicly pleaded for leniency, saying, quote, "I guess what we're asking for is another opportunity, a second chance to help him grow and become mature as a grown man to put this behind him." Excuse me, Jose? Did you not see what he did? I understand if this is mental health issues. Clearly, he needs to be in a mental hospital at the very least. But did he just say, put this behind him like it was a little thing? Because I remember this was murder while his newborn baby sister was right there nearby. And he stabbed his mom multiple times. You're saying put this behind him like he just, accidentally hit a squirrel on his bike or something? Like, what are we talking about here? I don't know if that was a good example, but... So currently the defense is pushing for Derek's transfer, with a hearing scheduled to determine whether he should remain in the adult facility or not. While this is going on, his attorneys have also been granted permission to inspect the crime scene as part of their preparation for trial. Now, during that inspection, several other pieces of evidence have come out, such as images from the crime scene and Ring video, and the baby monitor actually recorded everything that was going on. So with the baby monitor, it shows, this was portrayed in court, but they actually saw the video of, it was Irina holding the newborn first of all, and this was just literally moments before she was stabbed. And then there's another still that they showed in court, but they saw the whole video of the baby monitor showing Derek standing over his mother right before he started stabbing her. And those pictures I'll actually have in the Patreon, patreon.com/loveandmurder. There is also a Ring camera video, like I said. So it shows Derek opening the door, and you can see Irina sitting in the chair holding the newborn baby. So obviously this was before the attack. And he opens the door. In Spanish, he asks her, quote, "Why do you always tell me don't run?" Then they have the photo that Derek had sent to his friend, his online friend, that he doesn't even know his real name. Now, I don't know what this is. Making a shaka, S-H-A-K-A hand sign? I don't know what that is. I just looked it up, and I should have looked it up before the episode. So it's that hang loose sign, with your thumb out and then your pinky finger out. So his hand is bloody and he's doing that sign. So all of this is shown in court, but they didn't show the baby monitor footage. They just showed stills. So I do have the video. I have the pictures, the stills, and that will be in the Patreon. Now, Derek's trial was supposed to start early this year, 2024, but so far, 2 discovery status hearings have been canceled. Prosecutors say they're ready to go to trial, but the defense says that they still need more evidence. That's not a good sign. Basically, everything's on camera. So, I don't know. And then he confessed and then he sent pictures. So I don't know what your defense is. I don't think you need more evidence. I think you're just trying to stall. So Derek's family supports him, which I know I don't know if it's on his mom's side. I know it's definitely his dad and that side of the family supports him. Like in the last canceled hearing, Derek didn't even come, but his family was there and more than 50 supporters did come. And their whole claim was that Derek was innocent. Now, I wonder on what grounds they are having these claims. Was it an unknown twin in the video? Like the mom gave a twin up for adoption and then the twin turned evil because he was raised with Dr. Evil and he came back and he was like, ha ha ha, you gave me up for that. I don't understand because there's video. He called. There's pictures. He confessed. So I don't understand where the innocence comes in here. Unless, of course, you're saying innocent by way of mental illness. Like he didn't really know what he was doing. That's the only thing that I can come up with where they're claiming innocence. Now, cops didn't immediately give a motive. I don't think they know what the motive is. Everybody said that Derek was an honor roll student and he doesn't really have anything bad that people could say about him. So it's not like he was hanging with the wrong crowd, threatening his mother. You know, he's just a 13-year-old dude, like going to school and being on the honor roll. And even the police are saying that this murder, quote, left everyone dumbfounded. So what do you think about this case? Why do you think his father thinks that he's innocent? I completely have no answers except that maybe he thinks the boy had a mental break, which, I mean, if you have teens in high school right now, then you know what I'm talking about in terms of the amount of work schools are giving these children. And I don't even think you need to have a teen in high school because my friend, her child just started kindergarten and this kindergarten has like periods. Like, so you go to homeroom first period and it's like kindergarten. Are you serious? So I've heard that. But I have a teen in high school and the amount of work they're giving these children, they're not even letting children be children anymore. So I can understand the mental break part, especially if he's trying to keep up his grade. But obviously we can't just say mental health, yay. And, you know, you need to actually go see a psychologist and see what that psychologist says. That's literally the only way that I could see you pushing innocence. Other than that, the evidence is airtight. I mean, I don't know. Are they trying to even send him for a mental health screening? In nothing I saw did it say that's what they were doing. That's the only reason I could see that you're pushing the trial back. I mean, I understand why the defense would be pushing the trial back because, you know, they have nothing to stand on. But that's the only other reason I could see pushing the trial back is to get a mental health evaluation on Derek. But if that's not done, pushed for, maybe his father needs to push for it. I'm not really sure. Maybe there's a reason that we don't know about that they're not pushing for it. But other than that, defense has no leg to stand on. So what do y'all think about this case? If nobody's saying Derek has ever done anything wrong, why would he just snap and do this to his mom? You know, do you think it's mental health or do you think he was just fed up with something? And it was cold-blooded murder. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll put out a poll asking if you thought it was mental health or do you think it was just malicious? And like I said, in the Patreon, I'm going to have the stills. I'm going to have that ring video. You get those extras. You get actually all case extras at only the $3 a month donation tier, along with intro-free and commercial-free episodes and one bonus Kai Rants a month. So if you want to join in, be a supporter of Love and Murder, and get case extras, then patreon.com/Love and Murder. Also, I will keep an eye on this case to let you know what happened to it, if like it's a mental health issue or if they ever found out a motive. Some of these things they actually don't put out the updates for, so sometimes it's just over. I can't find an update for it. But if there's an update that goes out about this, I will definitely let you know. So let's get to your comments. In the last Florida Man Friday episode, I did tell you a case of a teacher who literally put this little 3-year-old in a headlock on the floor because he was autistic and he was getting on her nerves, I guess. So she thought that the best thing to do was to put a chair on his neck and hold his head with her feet while he screamed, and she just kept reading to the class. So her defense said that the picture that this other teacher took was taken out of context. And they had also said, if the other teacher was so worried about the child, why did they stop to take a picture? Ugh. So anyways, I asked you to go to either the Patreon or the Facebook group to see the picture and tell me if it was taken out of context. So the options of that poll was taken out of context or she needs to be in jail. And 100% of y'all said she needs to be in jail. I don't know how the defense formed their lips to act like that was taken out of context. But, they tried it. I guess they had to try it. I don't know. So about that case, Henna Page said, but the lady who took the picture did do something. She reported it. And then she said, I repeated what the defense attorney was saying, which was, why are you so worried about taking a picture if you were so worried about the kids, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, Henna Page said, I get that a defense attorney is supposed to be on their client's side, but damn, her attorney isn't that smart. Quote, there is no proof she was intentionally hurting the child. What? Again, that's what I'm saying, Henna. Like, Exhibit A. Like, literally, you don't need anything else. This is this woman sitting there. Look, if you haven't seen the picture, go to the Facebook group. It is there. You see this woman sitting there, calmly reading a book with the book facing the class. There's this little boy. She's sitting on a stool, and it looks like the stool is on the little boy, but it's not. It's like near him, and she's holding his head. He's lying on the floor on his back, and she's holding his head between her feet. And this lawyer had the cajones to say that you took that out of context. Like, you have to see this picture. Seriously, go to the Facebook group. The link is in the show notes below. Christina Bobo said, if she was this brazen to do this in front of the paraprofessional, it makes me wonder what she does when nobody is watching. She shouldn't be allowed near children again. To which I said, yeah, sometimes when I'm given the case, there's stuff that I even don't think about. I may have thought about it briefly, but I didn't even think about that. Think about what she's done when nobody was watching. If she was okay with doing that in front of somebody, what has she done when nobody's watching? And this is a 3-year-old, and he's autistic, and he can't even articulate properly. So it's not like he could tell on her. What has this woman been getting away with? All right. And so that Florida Man Friday actually had 2 other cases. So it was 3 cases in all. So it was a case of infidelity. A woman murdered her husband because she was just tired of him cheating. It was a case of this classroom teacher, and it was a case of a so-called doctor not even knowing where a liver is. So Christina Bobo continues on. The medical case could have been avoided had he been stripped of his license after the former case. I saw a documentary about a health club in California where a doctor was practicing as a surgeon and giving injections to plump body parts. A stipulation to receive her service was that if there were any issues, the patient must contact the spa, not the ER. Well, one of the patients had a negative reaction, and the doctor blasted her because she went to the ER and not the clinic. The client nearly died. Come to find out, sis wasn't even a surgeon. She was an OBGYN who wasn't even supposed to be practicing because she was under investigation for medical malpractice. So she said she was going to search for it, but then she couldn't find it. And then the other thing that she said was about the case of the marriage, the infidelity. She said, I wish more people chose to sever and dissolve a marriage completely over staying in the same house or separate rooms. When it's done, move on. Now these poor twins are left without parents. And I agree. And that's what I said in the episode too. Like, some people are like, we stayed together for the children. Yeah, well, you ruined your children by staying together. Sometimes it's just better for everybody's mental health if you split up. Now, if you missed that Florida Man Friday, I will put the link in the show notes below so you can go ahead and listen to it and join the Facebook group or the Patreon So you could see this picture where this attorney, I really don't know what he was thinking, was saying they took the picture out of context. I don't know I do know what this attorney was thinking. Basically, he's trying to win a case, but oh my God. And imagine if this was your kid. You're trying to get this woman off, but imagine if this was your kid. Like, seriously? And that is all that I have for you for your comments. I love reading your comments on air. Keep the comments coming. Let me know what you think about this case. Do you think it was a case of mental health? Do you think it was a case of maliciousness? I will put that poll out. Thank you for listening. And don't forget that a free and easy way of helping Love and Murder out is simply sharing this episode. You can share it on your social media. You can share it through text messages or WhatsApp. Share it with your family and your friends. Share it with everyone you know and everyone you don't. And that is all I have for you today. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye.